Jai Hind to all. My name is Vaishali Bal and currently I'm working as an assistant professor at AKGEC. So today's session is about blockchain. Subject name is blockchain architecture design and the code for the subject is KCS 714. So these are some of the topics which we have discussed in the last session. First, for the government, we have discussed the several application of blockchain in land records and some other kinds of record. So let's revise and then we will continue where we have left in the last session. So we discussed the different number of questions which were asked in the last 3 years, in 2020 to 21, then 22 to 23 and till 24. Then the first topic was which we have discussed is the blockchain for government. So all these themes we have covered, the blockchain based government, then what is digital identity, and then what were some of the problems with the current DMS, that is IDM, that is the digital identity management systems. How can we just overcome with these challenges or the problems? So these are some of the solutions to the problem of current identity management system. Then the next topic was the land records. So we have covered that what are the land records, what are the problems with the storage of the land records or the data which is related to the land records, and how we can just solve it. So these are some of the challenges, and this is how we can just sort out the problems which are associated with the current land registry systems. Now come to the next topic. So today's topic is in the today's lecture discuss some of the use cases, or we can say the applications of blockchain in different sectors, for example healthcare or smart contracts or smart cities. So first is the blockchain in healthcare use cases. So in use cases in healthcare sector, we can use blockchain for these several, or we can just list out these, that we can use blockchain for patient data management, then to store the clinical trial records, and then pharmaceutical supply chain, then telemedicine, and interoperable health data exchange, tracking doctors and health workers' credentials, and next is the healthcare payments. So we are discussing the several applications of blockchain in healthcare. So let's discuss one by one. First application is the patient data management. So whatever the data we are having related to the patient, we can store that data with the help of blockchain. So one of the most effective use case of blockchain is the patient data management, that how we can manage the data related to patient in a very efficient way. So whether storing the patient health record, or when it comes to the security, social security numbers or bank account details. So we are having the concepts in blockchain like blockchain encryption system, which can facilitate the secure data storage of such data. Then as we are saying that this is it provides you a ledger, that is distributed ledger technology. So it ensures the secure transfer of patient medical records and preventing the unauthorized individuals from accessing the data. Moving on to the next application, so when it comes to clinical trial records, we can store such type of data also. So the researchers, they often have to record vast amount of data, or we are having the huge amount of data while performing some of the trials of new medicine or researching on a new disease. So one of the main important feature of blockchain is the immutability, that whatever data we are providing is immutable, means it will persist, or it will be unchangeable once it is stored. So this feature ensures the integrity of the trial data and preventing it from tampering or any kind of the manipulation or changes. Now it can help in recording every change in clinical trials and help in tracking of the changes what we are making. Next is the pharmaceutical supply chain management. So with the help of blockchain, we can handle such kind of the problems. First is a fake drug, and the next is counterfeit drug. So fake drugs and the counterfeit drugs are such a big problem with the current supply chain management system in the healthcare. So with the help of blockchain, we can just sort out such kind of the problems. First is the fake drugs. So it's a significant problem in the system, which is not only widespread, but it can be very dangerous. Counterfeit drugs, they may contain the toxic ingredients, which involve some illegitimate drugs, and that can be repackaged after expirations and causing several health issues. The next problem is the telemedicine. Telemedicine simply refers to the linkage of these healthcare facilities to the remote areas, to the village areas. So that's the telemedicine and remote monitoring. So blockchain also helps in such kind of the things. So telemedicine, it can provide easy access to the quality healthcare for the people who are residing in the villages or in some remote areas. So although telemedicine relies on exchanging the sensitive health information between the healthcare providers and patients, and making it vulnerable to the cyber threats. So how can blockchain just help to implement such kind of the linkages, or it can help in the remote monitoring or in the telemedicine? So implementing the blockchain for healthcare, it can remove this risk as a technology, because it is providing a more secure platform or the decentralized ledger for the data exchange. The data is not centralized, and the platform is not centralized, so no one can, a single authority cannot regulate it. Now, it can provide a secure platform for the better integration of the wearable IoT devices and making it very easy to monitor the patient progress from the remote areas also. Next application is the interoperable health data exchanges. So whenever you are storing the patient complete health data and just sharing it among the doctors. So with the help of the blockchain, it becomes quite easy to share the health data, or the data which is related to the clinical trials or the patient, and we can just share it among the different doctors, as the patient must consult multiple specialists and need complete information on their health history for the better treatments or the diagnosis or the overall care. So they may consult more than one doctor or 2-3 doctor. So to share the same information among the different doctors, it becomes easy with the help of blockchain, and the uniformity is also maintained in this. Next application is tracking the health workers or doctors' credentials. So when the patient need to visit a doctor, they want to check their credentials before booking an appointment. So blockchain technology, it plays a very indispensable role in verifying or tracking the doctors and healthcare workers' credential by just providing a decentralized or immutable ledger. So a healthcare experts adds a credential, they cannot alter or just delete it. So this is also one of the advantage we can have with the help of blockchain if we are using or implementing the blockchain in this sector. That's the healthcare. Next is the healthcare payment. So hospitals or the diagnostic centers or clinics or the insurance companies, they are processing the several claims or the numerous transactions on the day-to-day basis. So blockchain can help to store the data which is related to the payments, and this process involves sharing the bank account details or sharing the credit card details, which is very much sensitive. So to save or to safely save such information is quite important. So with the growing number of the data breaches incidents, securing the payment details, it becomes very critical, very important, and we can do so with the help of blockchain to a high extent. Now we are having some of the benefits of blockchain in the healthcare system. So we are having some of the benefits of blockchain in the healthcare system, and we can just list out these benefits as these, or you can add as much as you can. So we have just studied that what are the several applications of the blockchain if we are using or implementing it in the healthcare sector, and these are some of the benefits which we can have by just implementing the blockchain in healthcare industries, whether you are storing the data related to the patients or related to the clinical trials or any kind of the remote monitoring purpose. So all such kind of the data, you can just store the data safely with the help of the blockchain. So first benefit is the cost saving, second is the enhanced security, and they're very much understood. There's no need to explain these points again. The third point is the seamless sharing of the patient information. The next is the transparency and then enhanced efficiency. And the last is the efficient claim processing, which we have discussed in the last point of the applications of the blockchain in healthcare systems. Now, the next topic is, or the use cases in the smart cities sector. So in this we will discuss that how blockchain can resolve or can help in implementing the smart cities in a more efficient way, how it can overcome the challenges which we are facing currently while implementing the smart cities or the several facilities for the smart cities. So first thing is the waste reduction in the recycling, or there are a number of applications and the use cases in which the blockchain can play the significant role in making some of the changes. So first such change is the waste reduction and the recycling. So tracking the waste from the source generation to disposal, or when we are talking about the supply chain, so blockchain is proving itself because it is having some of the very important features. For example, the immutability or the decentralized platform. So first is the waste reduction and the recycling. So tracking the waste from the source to the disposal or to the end point, it becomes very easy with the help of blockchain. It supports the cities in raising their recycling rates, or incentives are providing to the residents. So reducing contribution to the landfills. And with the help of such things, blockchain can help to encourage the sustainable behavior of the residents. Second point is the supply chain transparency. So supply chain transparency is that with the help of blockchain, supply chain of the goods or the foods, it can be more transparent. Now the consumers, they will be tracing the paths taken by the products for sustainability in the products for traceability, and ensuring their purchase decisions that will be more environmental aware. Next important application or the use case while we are just implementing the blockchain in the smart contracts in the smart cities. Third is the resource management, that we can efficiently manage the resource in the more sustainable way with the help of blockchain or its important features. So blockchain enables the development of decentralized energy grids, where the supply energy sourced from the renewable means. For example, there can be number of the renewable means such as the solar panels. I have mentioned one, you can mention more. So it can be sold or traded or bought by the consumers, and such kind of the approaches, it will encourage the adoption of renewables by the residents and cut down on the transmission losses. Next is, what are some of the benefits, or here we have just listed out the benefits of the blockchain which we can have by implementing it in developing the smart cities. So first point is, blockchain technology helps in building a reliable registry of the local businesses, that whatever the data we are having related to the local businesses or the service job, we can build a registry of that, a reliable registry we can say, from a trustworthy local registration system to hiring employees for the common services. So in this way, the smart cities can work in a very efficient manner. Now, by implementing the blockchain, it can also help in refining all the processes which are related to the finance management and the trade logistic, whatever logistic is something which is related to the transportation. So the transportation or the processes which are related to the finance management, such processes, they can be eased while we are implementing the blockchain in these sectors. So the blockchain based solution in the city, it can create the transparency, it can also save the time, it can shift a consumer or a resident to the sustainable behavior. So they can help in removing the unwanted layers of the verification too, because with the help of the blockchain, the scope of the intermediaries will be very less, or the intermediaries, they can be removed to a large extent if you are using such kind of the technologies, or by leveraging blockchain with the ML or AI or some other technologies, as you can build efficient solutions to solve such kind of the problems, and to shift or to work for the uh, sustainability. You can work for the sustainability. Yes. So one can use the smart contract. Smart contract is one of the main important feature of the blockchain. These are the codes for improving the management. So one can use this feature also. We have discussed these features in the first lecture. So for setting up the smart contract, one need to meet only certain preset conditions, and by having these technologies, many parties, they can execute the smart contract without the role of any kind of the intermediaries. It can provide convenient or cheap notary services. So it can be asked in exam, role of blockchain in the notary services. It can be a different question, and or there can be a question, explain the role of or the use cases of the blockchain in the smart cities and in the notary services. So through the web applications, it can provide the convenient notary services and with the use of blockchain, the notarized proof of the ownership can be provided for the digital creations. Companies, like many of the companies, they're using the blockchain development technology with the IoT, as we have already discussed, that we can leverage the blockchain, or we can combine this technique with other techniques, for example IoT, AI or ML. So many of the companies, they're doing so, and they have used it for developing the smart waste management system. So this is one of the example or the use case we can have, or we can mention here, that the company for implementing such type of the system, it even won an award for having the most outstanding product in the 2017. Then the next topic is, or the next sector is the voting. So as in the starting we have just I have just mentioned that today we will discuss the use cases or the applications of the blockchain in the different sectors. So first we have seen the applications of the blockchain in the healthcare system. There we have listed out some of the benefits and the applications. Then the next was the application of the blockchain in the smart cities, that how we can just resolve the problems which we are facing with the current current implementation of the smart cities with the help of some features of the blockchain. And the next topic is the application or the use case of blockchain in voting. So the fifth unit is all about the applications of the blockchain in the different sectors. So you need to mention the example, the real-time examples, that whatever the projects are undertaken by the government in the different sectors. It can be energy sector, it can be a voting, it can be healthcare, or it can be anything. So it will complement your answer if you mention such type of the examples over there. So the application of the blockchain in voting, these are some of the application. First is obviously whatever the data you are handling related to the voting, you can store that in a safe manner. Secure the digital voting platforms. So blockchain enables the end-to-end secure online voting, and it ensures the votes cannot be tampered or cannot be changed or cannot be manipulated. So second is the transparent vote counting. So each vote is counted as a transaction on the blockchain. And this thing we have discussed in the first lecture, that how the transactions, the working of the transaction in blockchain, or what are the blocks, or what are some of the components of a block. Then remote voting. So with the help of blockchain, we can enable the remote voting, and it can be very feasible, or it can be very helpful for the person who are at the remote locations and who can't come at the place whenever the voting happens. So fourth is the prevention of the double voting. So with the help of some of the mechanism, the consensus mechanism. Consensus is the agreement mechanism, for example, proof of stack or proof of work. These are some of the algorithms which are the core of blockchain, and all these algorithms are in unit 1 and the unit 2 of the blockchain. Byzantine fault tolerance is also one of them. You can list out as many as consensus mechanism. So with the help of such agreement algorithms, you can just ensure that each voter can cast only one vote, not more than that. So with the help of such concepts, we can ensure that the double voting can be prevented in such an indispensable sector that is voting. Next is the anonymity and the privacy. So the blockchain, it allows the use of cryptographic techniques to just anonymize the voter's identity while you are ensuring that the voters are recorded. So that is also quite helpful. Sixth is the immutable audit trials, as immutability is one of the core feature of the blockchain. Whatever the data you are storing on that, it will be immutable, means it will be permanent and it will be unchangeable. So you can just ensure it with the help of this technique. Seventh is the smart contract based voting systems. So smart contract is also a piece of code on the systems and will automate whenever a new transaction enters in the blockchain, and whenever one has to decide whether to add this transaction into the blockchain or not. So smart contracts just automates the task like verifying the voter's eligibility, managing the voters window, or telling the results. The last one is the monitoring. So election monitoring and the reporting. So election observers, they can monitor the blockchain records to ensure the accuracy and the fairness. So these are some of the benefits which we can have by implementing or by leveraging the several technologies. For example, the blockchain or the IoT, or by the combination of such technologies, we can have such incredible benefits in the different sectors, in such important different sectors. So the next is the energy sector, which is also a very important sector of government. So here we will discuss that how blockchain technology can just help out in implementing the energy sector in the efficient way. So blockchain technology is being used in the energy sector for improving the transparency, security, and the efficiency. First thing is the REC. So these terminologies, they are very important. Renewable energy certifications or the carbon credit trading, and many of the companies, they are taking advantage of these. So renewable energy certifications, the blockchain can speed up or automate the process of certifying the renewable energy, and this is very critical for the long-term PPAs that require the 100% green energy. So by having these kind of the certificates, even a company is not using or automating its processes on the renewable energy, but can have the advantage of that with the help of such kind of the certifications. The next one is the carbon trading, carbon credit trading. So for trading such kind of the credits, this technique can provide a tamper-proof systems or the transparent systems, and it can help the companies and the individuals to offset their greenhouse gas emissions. Next is the energy transactions. So with the help of blockchain, one can just settle or record such type of the transactions almost instantly without any intermediary. So as we have studied already, that in blockchain we can just minimize the role of intermediary, or we can remove the intermediary with the help of the consensus algorithm in the smart contracts. So some of the other applications are the smart contracts, then peer-to-peer trading, then EV charging, or carbon emission monitoring, or dynamic resource sharing. So these are there is no need to explain these keywords, or you can say the applications or the use cases. You need to list out whenever it is asked the use case of blockchain in energy sector. So you need to remember such kind of the keywords: carbon credit trading, energy transactions, then EV charging, and carbon emission monitoring, and dynamic resource sharing. So this is it for today, and in today's session we have just discussed the use cases of blockchain in the different sectors: energy sector, voting, healthcare sector, and one more was there. So in the different sectors we have covered the applications of the blockchain. In the next session we'll discuss these topics: PDS system, that what are the challenges with the PDS system, how the blockchain can resolve the PDS system or the social welfare challenges, or then the concept, we'll see the concept of cryptography, blockchain cryptography, and several terminologies involved in it, for example asymmetric or symmetric cryptography. Then the last topic is the privacy and security of the blockchain. So in the next session we'll discuss these terminologies or these topics.